Hey tea heads, this is Don from Mayleaf. In this video, Young Gushu 2021 is here and I get to have my first session by dipping into this baggie of joy here. Young Gushu, for those of you who don't know, every year we taste lots and lots of raw Gushu PuErh, obviously for our cakes, but we are always looking out for one particular standout Gushu PuErh that we think is all about drinking now. Of course you can age it, but really it's just primed for drinking fresh. And so every year we search for it, and this year we have found this beautiful tea here. This is Young Gushu 2021. I'm filming outside. Just when I started when I was going to set up, it was sunny and typical to London weather. The clouds are rolling in, but I don't care. If it rains, I don't care if the person next door starts cutting the grass or there's building work I know around. So whatever will be. I'm having a session outdoors. Boy, do I need this session. This week has been one of the hardest weeks that I can remember ever in my life. Not going to get into it, but man, the amount of stress. I felt like I wanted to crawl into a hole and just give up everything. It was very stressful. I feel like I've done many rounds with a heavyweight boxer. I feel very battered. So, when I found out that Young Gushu had come in yesterday, I went and picked up a baggie. I know I should leave it a little bit to settle, but you know what? I'm going to dive straight in. I need this tea. So let's quickly scope this tea. This is season April 2021. The cultivar is the Daejong variety, the large leaf Assamica variety. The origin, this is from Bada Mountain. Bada Mountain on the west side of Sichuan-Banna area, quite far west. And we picked Bada before for Ayana cake, for the cake for our daughter. We mixed Bingdao and Bada. It's a mountain that we really enjoy. It's got a very interesting character to it, and we're going to dive in and talk about that, of course. The picking and processing is a bud and up to 3 leaves. Elevations around 1,400 meters. I'm sure that the rain is going to come down, but we'll see. Brewing on my Gongfu vessel. I've got this Vectra kettle here. If you haven't seen the review of this kettle, I'll put a link in the description below. Has many flaws, but one of the great things about it is it's thermally insulated. So this is at 100 degrees or boiling point, and it's going to be perfect for my whole session. I love that about this kettle. Right, I forgot a tea pet. It's a little bit chaotic. You can see, I don't know if you can see, but I am exhausted. It has been a a week full of very unique experiences. Anyway, let's dive in. Warm teaware. I am not going to measure this. I'm just going to load up to my heart's content. Yeah, I reckon maybe a bit overzealous. Let's tidy up some of these leaves. Put that to the side. Yeah, I think that's about right. Okay. A moment of calm. Let's taste Young Gushu. Let's do a full 10-step tasting. Here we go. Oh, so unique, this tea. Very different in the aroma compared with a lot of Young Gushus that we've selected. A lot of times when we pick Young Gushu, we select teas that are very sort of floral and sort of very easy drinking and easy to get to know. This one, it's deeper. There's a sort of deep nougat-like note, a cooked sugar kind of note. Not quite in the caramel, but like sugar syrup, or, you know, those Taiwanese pulled sugar. I think it's called dragon's beard. That sometimes is mixed with nuts, sort of nuts and sugars, nougats, dragon beard candy. That's what hits you first. So it's nutty and sweet. And then you're getting all of these sort of bright notes sprinkled on top. Yep, I felt a drop of rain. I don't care. I'm going through the rain. Torrential downpour or anything. Those top notes are very flowery and fruity at the same time. They remind me of elderflower, which has this combination of it's flowery but has that sort of zesty fruitiness. Elderflower, There's pears in there, like poached pears, maybe poached pears in elderflower syrup. Yeah, the almonds from that nougat, and like sultanas, but those green sultanas. So sweet, concentrated sweetness and freshness, fruity, floral. It is elderflower. Elderflower is the absolute right flower for this smell of the dry leaf. And you can see the leaves, nice sort of classic seal green, little bits of yellows, little bits of maroon, with some slender white wispy buds, and a little bit straighter, I would say, than your sort of average curled up Gushu PuErh. Right, let's use this to give this tea a rinse. I forgot a tea pet. Oh well. Please hold off. Please. Okay. Just make sure we get all of those leaves nicely hydrated. Okay, here we go. Smell of the wet leaf. Ah, those deep notes are still there. It's nutty. Not so much almonds. Broad beans, it's sort of moving into the Longjing style chestnuts, broad beans. Peanuts, that's it, peanuts. Peanuts, and the flowers are there, a little bit sweeter, more in the wisteria flowers, but still of those small, very bright, very potent floral notes. And just, yes, very, very sweet. Honeys, but very, very light honeys, very flowery, light honeys. And there's a savory note as well in there. Starchy and savory. And baked. I like a baked root vegetable, like squash or pumpkin, salted, baked, drizzled with this almond. This honey, heather honey or flowery honey, and then the peanuts and those wisteria stroke elderflower notes. The pour on this, not a good center of gravity on this kettle. One of the problems with it. We'll brew for 25 seconds, 30 seconds or so. I hope that you are all doing well out there. I hope that you are having a nice weekend if you're watching on the weekend, and you're having a less stressful time in your life. Tea is always there to help you through, and I'm so glad to have this session with you today, especially Young Gushu. Traditionally, Young Gushu, we always sample it with Celine. I wish that she could join us, but just time constraints and baby restraints, constraints couldn't quite make that happen, unfortunately. Color of the liquor on this. Oh, it's so fascinating. The smell moving from the nutty to the fruity. It's a real journey on the nose. Right, let me just put this to the side. Let's check out that liquor. Very, very, very active. Very, very cloudy. You see that I didn't use a filter. A nice sort of just straight up gold, a pale gold color to it. Okie dokie. Let's give this a taste. Put the leaves here so you can admire them. Young Gushu 2021. I know a lot of you wait for this. It's like a calendar mark of the year. Normally we release in August. I managed to get some of this early by air. The rest is coming by sea. So if you see it goes out of stock, then it's going to come back into stock. But you're going to have to be patient. If you want to taste it, then I suggest you move quickly on it. Okay. Thick, very thick looking. Let's give the texture A little description. Oh, very thick, very brothy. Almost reminds me of a Japanese green tea in its brothiness. Not so much the strong umami note, although it does have a savory touch to it. But that very, very thick, gelatinous, ultra thick, very, very brothy, quite soft. Oh, really, really coats the mouth. Taste. Peanuts are there, but like sweetened peanut soup. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of creaminess. I'm getting a lot of sort of peanut soup, and again, reminds me a little bit of the Longjing in its sort of, oh, smell of empty, just one infusion, super sweet on the smell of the empty cup, like steamed, syrupy sponge pudding. And as I was saying, the taste is that peanut soup and like a chestnutty note, maybe like chestnut creams. And just now, a little lighter, brighter notes coming, fruitier. Let's let them develop. Again, I would say very different from previous Young Gushus. This west side of Sichuanbana, closer to the Myanmar borders, reminds me a little bit of the Dream Scene Smuggler. If you've tried Dream Scene Smuggler, it has a creamier, warmer note than a lot of the more flowery, a lot of the more sort of bright, punchy notes of the areas further east, and maybe the sort of very gentle, sweeter notes as you move into Mengla County and you move into Iwu. Rich, brothy, creamy, chestnut creams, peanut soups, and then the freshness. I think I need another infusion, but it's there, starting to come out, and it will, because as the leaf starts to give up more of its inner leaf material, it's going to bring out more minerality and a little bit more of those fruity notes. And the fruity notes are there, but like, I want to say something like honeydew melon or kiwi, although kiwi, you sort of have this idea that it's a very sort of zesty fruit. Well, I do anyway, because of that bright green. The taste of it's actually quite a warming, sweet fruitiness. Altogether in that more warming territory. Finish. Kind of chewy. It sort of gives an overall gentle dryness to the whole mouth. And that makes it sort of chewy, and as you chew, it sort of releases more of this sweet saliva that has starts to have a little flowery note, like a little soapy orchid fragrance, and a fruit as well. Like green grape maybe is there. So again, like, yes, fresh, but sweet, not zesty. The finish, yeah, green grape. Yeah, the orchid is there. It's a very interesting tea. And I get a sense that it's going to surprise a few people, especially people who are avid Young Gushu followers. This is something that's a little bit different. And the better for it, in my opinion. But I leave that up to you to decide. I mean, not to say that we're not going to get more floral, punchy Young Gushus in the future, but you know, when we select our Young Gushus, it's sort of a very instinctive thing. We taste loads and loads of pu'er teas, and then there's one that we just keep wanting to dip into, the Maocha, just keep tasting because we just enjoy it as we go. And this Bada was that one. Just always just got ticked every time. Oh, let's have that batter again. Let's have that batter again. And that's when I know that that's the one. A lot of the other ones we taste and we go, yeah, that's potent. That's gonna really work well as a cake. It needs to settle because it's a Malcha. It's a bit green. But we always find one that we just always want to dip into. Color is getting a little bit more golden. Okay, thickness is the same, still brothy, but now that mineral note is coming through. Now, and those mineral notes tend to transform into sort of those flowery notes. You get that stony to slight jasmine, orchid, wisteria, fruitiness. Kiwi, I think, is pretty good. Melon is pretty good. Golden apple. Yeah. And now that the minerality is there, it's giving a different sensation in the mouth. It's still chewy. It's still overall a sort of dry to... It's not a flooding juiciness. It's like a juiciness that comes from movement in the mouth. I don't know how that works, or the sort of physical properties of that, but as you move, and this is what I mean by chewy, it sort of releases this sweet saliva. Oh, different notes coming through. A little herbal, a little up in the mountains, rocky herbs, maybe like lemon, thyme. Yeah, there's a bit of thyme. Thyme has that sort of herbal green, but also a bit, it's more of a, earthy is the wrong word, but more of the ground, you know, more of rocks and minerals. Peanuts are still there. Oh, I have needed this session. Warming. This is not going to be a punch you around the face energy hit. Warming, comforting, a little pat on the back, make you feel it's going to be okay. Or maybe that's just the state that I'm in right now, but yeah. Yeah. Pick up little touches of those elderflowers and lemon thymes in the background. Okay, let me smell the empty cup. It was already pretty special after one fill. Yeah, so sweet. Oh, syrup and sugars and sponge pudding and steamed sponges. Warm and steamy and just dragon's beard candy, all of those things I was talking about. Very, very, very sugary. I forgot to say this is a Gushu. So this is estimated at around 200, 250-year-old tea trees. Let me roll through some infusions and I'll get back to you with my final thoughts. Sixth infusion here. Such a fascinating tea, a really lovely journey. As you brew through the infusions, getting more minerality, more bite, more of this chewiness in there. And with that minerality comes more of these flowery notes, but it's still light. It's still, you still need to search for them. It's like, yeah, orchids and wisterias and a distinct herbal freshness as well. The rain is coming down. I do not care. I do not care. The body sensation on this, again, it's like it's a very gentle tea. It feels very sort of soothing. Yes, it gives me a brightness. Everything feels brighter, even though the things are getting grayer above my head. Everything feels brighter, more lightening. So not just light, but also just sort of lifting the load. I feel lighter, I feel easier, I feel calmer. Yet it still gives me that energy. So it's sort of like, it's giving me exactly what I need, basically. It's sort of just made me feel like lifted, but not in any way rushy or a real sort of energy boost. It makes me feel calm and light and bright and happy. It's amazing how tea gives you what you need. I don't know if it's just sort of always adapting or if it's just somehow something happens and you always select the tea that you need at that time. Let's give the 6th infusion a taste. You can see how the color is still very rich. The texture is still, I mean, it's less thick, of course, but it still has that brothy note and the minerality is there. And I'm, yeah, getting more of those. It's hard, like you really want to dive into it. Yeah, I'll go with lemon thyme. It's more complicated than that. But yeah, lemon thyme and orchid is the transformation of the minerality. It's still got those creamy peanut notes, etc. Yeah, I'm trying to hide things now because the rain is definitely coming down. If you have been following the Young Gushu series, I think that you are going to be fascinated by this journey. And it just has a really unique character to it, this tea. Subtle, but rich, and transitions through the infusions really, really nicely. A great place to start if you want to try the Young Gushu range, if you're not following this series already. Creamy yet fresh, soft and supple yet biting and mineral. A really, really interesting balance on this tea. I hope that you enjoy it. If you pick it up, let me know your thoughts. That's it, tea heads. Check out our other videos, taste our teas wherever you are in the world by browsing mayleaf.com, and come visit us if you're ever in London. Other than that, I'm Don from Mayleaf. Thank you for being a part of the revelation of true tea. Stay away from those tea bags. Keep drinking the good stuff and spread the word, because nobody deserves bad tea. Bye.